going straight to the floor. Both hands in the sky. I wanna wild out ASAP with my Henny. I'm ready to go out for the night. Are you feeling the vibe? Cause I'm feeling the vibe. I got a mic and I'm ready to ride. Hang tight, everybody inside. We're going straight to the floor. Both hands in the sky. I want a mic and I'm ready to ride. Hang tight, everybody inside. Everybody inside. Everybody inside. Everybody inside. Everybody inside. Bass coming, I'm ready to get raw. Class A, 100% pure. Jam pack from the back to the door. I need my own space on the floor, so step.
More often than not, heavyweight power greater than light heavyweight power. And, you know, Miocic's not necessarily forcing the issue. He had him stunned there early, stepped back a little bit, and the knockout materializes shortly thereafter.
Very relaxed, and most knockouts come when you're not trying so hard for them. Very relaxed, perfectly executed right hand.
Hello everyone. My public sphere final project topic is an issue that is highly talked about in the mixed martial arts world. The biggest issue during the UFC events is the rules and guidelines for two competitors to fight each other. The Nevada fighting law states that random fighter drug tests and weigh-ins are mandatory before a fight. I am going to introduce the topic of weighing in and drug testing fighters the day of and right before the fight. The big issue is that there are fighters allowed to use testosterone replacement therapy in mixed martial arts. I will state my case and prove my point for an equal ruling in the cage for fighting. This is a very important topic to me because my favorite sport is MMA. I love watching, learning, and training in MMA. It definitely pertains to my lifestyle, so I am pleased to do research on this issue. What up? We're here bright and early. We're going to do some weight cutting. And we're here at the CSUSB gym because they got a sauna. We're going to do lots of cardio. It only takes about like 3 to 5 hours for a substantial weight cut. You can at least do 5 pounds water weight, pure water weight, just weight cutting in the gym or anywhere, just doing cardio. But yeah, today we're going to try it out. We're going to test it out. I'm going to show you guys how MMA fighters do it. So do some weight cutting. You ready? First, we're gonna come in on the weighing scale, checking our weight. 157. 157. I'm here with Paul the Maniac Maldonado.
Well, 24 years old, wrestled for 8 years. I was a high school wrestler at Los Osos. I wrestled 4 years in high school. I competed. I was a CIF champion as a senior, a state qualifier, picked the Masters tournament. In the first half of the season, I started off cutting down to 140s. I was cutting from 150 to make 140. And towards the end of the season, the second half, for the playoffs, I cut down to 135, so I was going from 145 to 135. Yeah, I've gone through the process of dehydrating my body. It varies. Like, it depends how much you're dehydrating. From my experience, if you dehydrate like 5 pounds like within a week, it won't really hurt. It won't really damage you. Like, that's like, I don't know. For me, that's naturally my body's tolerance. Everybody's body's different. My body could handle 5 pounds, like 5 pounds of water in a week. Well, I was drinking a lot of water before that, so naturally I was going to the bathroom regularly, so I was regularly losing water in its own natural process. Everything I was eating was healthy, so it was very light, it was digesting well through my body. The only time I would sweat, I wear the sweats is to go running because that's I want to ice up my body, get a good sweat in, and just keeping hydrated so I can consistently keep sweating. It's when you stop drinking water for long periods that your body starts retaining the water. So just during the runs I would do that and consistently drinking water and sticking to my diet. Typically in your first match of competition you will be a little drained because they give you 2 hours after your weigh-in to go compete. So naturally your body's not going to digest your food or your water completely. You're going to feel a little bloated because your body's not digesting or cycling your stuff properly. But as the day progresses, you will start feeling the nutrients flowing and your body starts feeling hydrated.
And what are the positives and negatives of weight cutting? And can you tell me if you're pro for it or against it in the MMA world?
The pros of it are that other people are doing it. So in order to compete against a person your size, it's probably the best thing to do. Like let's say every sport's different. Like in wrestling, if I went against a guy who was taller and longer than me, he'd have more leverage in certain positions, and he'd be able to put me down. But some guys who are naturally more built, they can handle that. Some guys that can build more muscle, they don't need to cut the weight like I had to. In MMA though, personally, I would cut. I'm a big advocate for cutting weight because reach is a very, very serious thing to consider when you're going to take damage to the face. Like if a guy can keep you at a distance and keep jabbing you and collecting damage, it's a danger to your health. So if I was to compete in MMA, I would definitely cut to a right weight class where I'm feeling pretty healthy, but at the same time, I'm not getting outreached or some people are going to naturally have an advantage because their body can tolerate more and the recovery is different. Some guys are going to suffer. It'll ultimately be the same thing. Guys are always going to try to manipulate the system to drop the lowest weight class possible. So it really doesn't make a difference. It just the way it is now is probably better because guys have 24 hours to replenish. So it's better for their health in the sense that they have more time to recover versus if you go straight into a match after cutting a severe amount of weight, you have a higher chance of getting a heart attack, heat stroke, and probably taking a lot of damage because you're not really prepared to compete at that level.
So these are one of the best techniques to losing sweat real quick, using a sweat or sauna suit. It does the same effect as the same thermal effect as like the sauna, except it's a suit and you sweat shit ton. I'm running twice as much. It's great for cardio.
And do you think more guys would still do the weight cut if it was right before the match? They would cut their weight and then just fight with dehydrating their bodies if they're weighted right before they enter the octagon?
Absolutely. It's been shown in any sport that guys are going to cut weight. Every guy's going to get as much advantage as possible. Some guys will pull it off better than others, but I don't think people always cut weight.
But do you think that MMA fighters would fight at their best abilities if they are dehydrated?
Not all of them, but like I said, everybody's body's different. Some people can dehydrate more and they're still just fine. It just varies on your genetics.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the Nevada rules of testosterone replacement therapy, such as Dan Henderson using that, or what is your stance on that? Do you think it should be allowed, or do you think it should be banned altogether and drug tested right before?
Personally, I think that it really depends on how you think. If you're a person who likes to go with nature and your time passes in a sense, it's kind of like cheating nature by that you can go to a doctor and all of a sudden you're back in your prime. If you couldn't do that back then, I think it's unfair to cheat life. But at the same time, it's science, and if a doctor's prescribing it, it's obviously legit and it's being done for the right reasons. So, but in all honesty, I'm a person that likes to go with nature, so I'd say banning it is probably the best thing because people won't really be cheating it as much.
And who's your favorite fighter in MMA, if you had to pick one?
Favorite fighter? I'd have to say Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman, oh. And what's your favorite jiu-jitsu move?
Favorite jiu-jitsu move? Kimura.
Alright, thanks Paul. That was perfect. So today we're going to be interviewing Martin Montes.
Started wrestling in high school, my sophomore year. Got into it because a friend of mine just told me to join. My senior year, I was weighing in about 123, and I was cutting down to 112 every week. So about, what 12 pounds a week? Yeah. Graduated in 08. I was the league champ, the CI champ, a master qualifier. Wrestled a little bit in college. After Mount Suck, into it.
And have you ever done a dehydration process to weight cut before a certain fight or tournament? And how did you feel during it? And what was your experience during the dehydration weight cut?
I'm gonna cut every week actually, and it sucked. I had something called cotton mouth, where that what isn't ingesting fluids to make weight. Yeah, that's pretty bad.